Hey guys, so it is 9:10 in the evening on Friday the 21st, and I am basically today starting and finishing The Awakened Kingdom by N.K. Jemisin. This is the novella that takes place 1,000 years, I think, after the events of The Kingdom of Gods, which is the final book in the Inheritance trilogy. This is a kind of spin-off novella of sorts. It basically, I have a little bit more than an hour left of it because it's a very short book. It's like 89 pages, I think, and this is following a character that basically is the reincarnation of Sia, who is one of the main gods that we know about throughout the entirety of the Inheritance trilogy. And actually in book 3, The Kingdom of Gods, he is the main character. He is the character that we see from. This video is going to have a little bit of spoilery content because this novella does basically dictate part of what happens in the final book, The Kingdom of Gods. So if you have not read that, definitely read it because pretty much the entirety of the plot is directly impacted by what happens in book 3. So if you've read book 3, The Kingdom of Gods, you know that at the very end, Sia basically gets old and he dies. And he, for the very first time ever, is essentially like reincarnated or regenerated. And what he is regenerated into is a new version of himself that has, like, you know, no real recollection of the things that happen. Think of him like in some ways how the Doctor in Doctor Who is, if you're a Doctor Who fan, where when they regenerate, they don't necessarily have the same body, have the same like memories necessarily, except for like the really important things. But each regeneration is almost like a brand new person comes into the mix. Now, this one goes by the name of Shill, which is more of a feminine presenting character. You hear that she likes to take more of a feminine presence. Essentially, they meet up with this group of demons. So Shill ends up deciding that they are comfortable in the mortal realm for whatever reason. They don't really know as to why. And the gods are saying that this is okay, that this person was supposed to fill Sia's place, but they can't really. Shill does not believe that she is able to fill Sia's place and does not really know what her purpose is. And so she meets up with these demons called the Enui, and the demons in this world are supposed to be deadly to the gods. Like, they are what are able to kill gods and godlings, which are the children of gods. And this kind of goes into the idea that because Shill wants to stay in the mortal realm, she has to be involved with an Enui family in a sense, and through that she meets this character who she decides, in order to figure out her life's purpose, she's going to pal around with him. She's going to help him by doing magic for him, essentially in exchange for his help in helping her find her purpose in this world, in this life. And it is so stinking cute. I know Breathe specifically, who I've been talking more so in my live shows with for this series, said that this wasn't really something that would add anything to the story. It really just kind of expands the idea of Sia a little bit more than what we got in the story. I love Shill though. Shill is so cute and so fun. She's basically like the embodiment of like a 6 or 7-year-old kid. I just adore it. Like, especially the audiobook. I think if you're gonna go about reading this, get the audiobook. It is so entertaining to listen to, and I just love the way that this character is written. Shill is so fun and energetic, and you can feel that this is meant to be a younger character. You can actually feel the excitement of a 6-year-old child. You can feel the awe and the surprise and the wonder that there is within this character, because they're learning so much, but they have such an old soul, but at the same time, like, they are so innocent and so green when it comes to like their experience on this earth. Like, I keep thinking of, going back to my analogy of the Doctor, basically, this is like the Matt Smith of the Doctors. Shill is 11. Like, full on, just child energy, sugar, everything. That is the epitome of shill. So I really like this. Like I said, it's very short. The audiobook is only like 4.5 hours long, but I listened on 2 times speed, so it's only like just over 2 hours worth, and I only have like just over an hour left of it. But it's really cute. I'm curious to know what we're going to learn about Shill's purpose. Like, what is her purpose now that she's taken Sia's place in essence? And how is it that this is going to go? Is she going to age like Sia did? Is she going to stay kind of in that child format similar to what Sia was in the beginning? I'm curious to see whether or not the rest of this novella is going to be impactful, but I do understand that, like from what Bree said, that this was supposed to be more kind of like an extra thing. It wasn't necessarily like necessary per se. And so for a lot of reasons that kind of seemed pointless to read in some ways. But I think for me, I just am enthralled with Shill so far that I'm kind of like feeling that this may be getting to like a 5-star. It depends, purely because of the way that the audiobook is by itself. I think if I was reading this on my Kindle or physically or anything like that, the translation of the tone that is within this story would be lost on me. I feel like it is better for me to have listened to the audiobook version because I get more enjoyment out of it, more fun energy than I would by reading it on my Kindle or in a physical format of some kind. So anyway, I'm gonna check back in here in a little bit when I finish the novella, and we will see what my final thoughts are. It is 10:40. I've just finished The Awakened Kingdom. Whoops, sorry, hit my desk there. So this is actually really good. Like I said, I think that overall 4 stars, really enjoyed it. I just feel like after I talked with you last, there was like a little bit of a lost point to some of the things that happen. Overall, the story is really about Shill basically like making amends in a way that like I think is supposed to be for both what Sia did in the Kingdom of Gods and overall what had happened with A Tempest within the first 2 books, or really the first book of the series. Like, it's I think one of those stories where it's the beginning of the end in a sense, where there's a new chapter going on in this world where this is basically like the end of the Kingdom of Gods was not the end. This had to be something that was created because there needed to be a reason to seeing some of the after effects of what happened and the rebuilding in some ways of this world, which this has more to do with specifically the demons who run the mortal world now in some way. Something about this though just didn't feel fully complete. It felt very rushed. I mean, obviously it's a novella. They couldn't make this into a full-length novel of any kind, but I almost would have preferred that this to be that, which I think that is one of the things Bree really had an issue with this in particular, is that there didn't seem to be enough for this to be kind of needed or worth it in some way, which I can understand, and I totally like can see that for myself. But I love the voice in this. Shill's voice in this was amazing. It was very lighthearted and fun. It was basically like an intensified, energetic version of Sia, which I absolutely adored. And I think that overall, this series is basically like a good series. I understand why the Inheritance trilogy is a series that a lot of people really, really enjoy from N.K. Jemisin. However, To me personally, it does not hold a candle to the Broken Earth trilogy. I still think that at this point, the Broken Earth trilogy is my favorite series by NK. This was really good though. On average, the books were like 4 stars. But with that, that's basically the end of the Inheritance trilogy, and my camera's gonna die, so I'm gonna go. Next month, we're gonna be reading NK's essay collection, which is How Long Till Black Future Month. So if you're wanting to join in on that one, that's going to be a very different kind of thing before we get into 2 final duologies of NK's for the end of 2023. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please do give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you'd like to be and would like to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock. And I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys.